Alright, so some people watching this may or may not know, but normally this channel is just a place where I upload like animations and stuff that I make with clay, but basically for as long as I've been making videos, I've been making kind of little clay sculptures that I don't feature in the animations, and I've kind of waffled about making a video just going over them for a while, and I think I'm just finally going to do it because I kind of want this channel to be an archive of all the stuff I've made, so I'm just going to make one big video showing all of it off, and at the end of every little segment, I'll show like the images I use for reference and stuff, so you can kind of see what I was trying to recreate, because all of these statues, unlike my animations, which are original, they're all based off of some TV show or video game I like or something like that, so yeah. And also, one last note, I won't be going over the imps from Plants vs. Zombies because there's a playlist up on my channel where I have videos going in depth about them and how I made them, so I'm not going to waste your time saying all that again. If you're interested, just go watch those videos, but let's get into it. Alright, so first up, probably the oldest thing I've got in my collection are these characters from the game Super Meat Boy, and they never actually show up in the game, but they're based off these little achievements. If you're on the PlayStation version, there are kind of these trophies you can get for beating like a certain chapter, all of the levels in it without dying at all, and all of them have the same theme of just showing this little icon of Meat Boy made out of something other than meat. And I thought it would be fun back when I was hunting them down to make my own little kind of clay trophies when I got the achievements. So I've got 10 of them here. So I'll start in the back from the forest. There's Wood Boy, pretty self-explanatory. He's just kind of a Meat Boy but brown, got some little branches on the top, pretty basic. You can tell these are old because not only are they super dusty, but I never even kind of bothered, like when I attached the limbs, I never really smoothed it over. You can kind of see where it was a separate piece of clay just slapped on. So, and then let's go to the next one, also from the forest. The Squirrel Boy. He's got kind of a slightly different face, little squirrel ears. He's got a big tail, which actually is so heavy he doesn't stand up straight. He kind of just leans back on the tail, because at this time I didn't use foil or anything, so it's just all solid clay. Then next up from the hospital, we have Needle Boy. And if you're wondering what these weird white things are, they're supposed to be like medical needles stuck to them. But like I said, I didn't use toothpicks or wire or anything, so I couldn't get them to stand up, so I just kind of had to lay them flat against them. So this one looks a little weird. I think if I remade him today with the needles actually sticking out, he'd look a lot better. But then second from the hospital is Blood Clot Boy. He's just kind of Meat Boy but dripping. Really not anything too impressive to say about him. And then from the Salt Factory, which yes is a real area in the game, there's Salt Boy. Really the most boring. He's literally just Meat Boy but white instead of red. Nothing to say about him. There's Missile Boy. He's kind of interesting because he's got kind of the dome head and some extra detail. He also for some reason has his mouth closed when all the others don't. I'm honestly not really sure why. Then from the Hell chapter, there's Brimstone Boy, who is just Meat Boy but on fire. He's leaning against the side here because he kind of falls backwards. He's very top heavy. You can see he's just kind of got flames going up his back. Then there's Demon Boy, another pretty basic one, just kind of Meat Boy but black and with sharp teeth. Not much to say there. Maggot Boy, maybe my favorite. He's blue, got a totally different face, and there are little white maggots crawling on him. This one's from the Rapture chapter, the final 5th chapter. Then there's Zombie Boy, also from the Rapture, and he's just kind of Meat Boy, but he's got a little weirder face and kind of boils on him. And he's kind of got, I kind of mixed in green with him, you can see. So he kind of looks more like rotten meat. You can tell he's the newest one, kind of the first time I messed with mixing colors, but yeah, that's it for the Meat Boys. Next up, I've got these 5 from a video game called Lisa the Painful. I think it's a very good game, but fair warning if you try it out, it's not as family friendly as my videos are, so just saying. But these characters are kind of interesting because you know, the original game is kind of all pixely and blocky, so translating like little pixel characters into 3D real life was kind of an interesting little experiment. But this is Brad, the main character. He's got the little wristbands, the big beard, the scar on his eye, kind of little wrinkles on his bald head. This is Buddy, another important character. She's got the bandage over her eye, the pink poncho, the sword on the back, the little tuft of hair. She actually looks pretty good. This one's Buzzo. He's kind of the weirdest one because he's got kind of a weird looking face. He's got all the spikes on him, the belt. Also got some red wristbands on. There's Rando, really kind of the most basic design, just kind of a big block of black with shoulder pads and a skull. Not much to say about him, really. Then there's Chris, probably the most advanced of this group because he's riding on the deer. He's got the sunglasses, all that. And you can see the deer, I didn't know how to get it to stand up on its thin little legs, so I kind of just made it laying down to be a bit lazy. But yeah, those are all 5 of my Lisa characters. Next up here, we've got the Rain World. This is when my creations started getting a little more advanced. And all these are kind of based on, if you've ever played the game Rain World, the character selection screen kind of shows a big image of all the characters doing some wacky pose. So that's what all these are based on. So in the back, got the main character, the survivor. He's pretty basic, just kind of a white little cat creature. Not really much to say about him, just white and black all mushed together. Then there's the monk, kind of the easy mode character. He's very similar, a little bit shorter, kind of got the closed eyes and the kind of the tilted head, but basically kind of the same idea, just some slight variations to him. Then in the front here we've got the gourmand, of course, and he's carrying around all his food. There's one of the little blue fruits, a centipede, one of the weird like orange jelly things, and a jellyfish. And if you've played the game, all those are kind of foods you can eat. So he's kind of cool, the first one that's really got some extra detail to him. Then over here's the rivulet, holding the, I forget what it's called, I think it's like the rare fraction cell, just kind of a black ball with blue in it. But you can see with these characters, I started using wire for their little limbs. I found like it's like a wire supposed to hang picture frames with. So it's kind of going all the way through the ball and back to her other arm. So it's just kind of a big loop almost, or kind of a big arch. So that's how it's holding the ball up. And of course the feet are supporting it. Then here there's the saint. This one also, of course, is using wire for the tongue. That's what it's supposed to be, kind of a big tongue swinging around him. And this one's got some extra detail, the little hairs on the elbows, and of course on the head. These took ages. I remember to get every little hair, the little hair tufts. And then of course I've got a whole nother cubby of them. Back here is the hunter. You can see him kind of holding that spear, that black spear. That is a toothpick. And of course his arms are wire. This is actually the first one I ever used wire for. Then the back there is kind of the secret character, or whatever you call him. He's got like a million names, and he's holding the egg. Got kind of the goofy face. Over here, my personal favorite, or actually my personal second favorite now, Artificer. She's got the scar on her eye. The spear is pretty cool on this one. The spear is a toothpick that I kind of used wire to get that little red bit trailing off of it. So that's Artificer. Then Spearmaster, another really cool one. The original image shows him kind of sitting on a pipe, which I didn't really know how to do, so instead I kind of just made him crouching on the ground. But of course he's got the little white spears that he pulls out of his tail. You can even see the little cords that attach him to him. And then here is the Watcher, who's not really based on any like image from the game, because on the loading screen he looks kind of boring. So probably my favorite character too, but yeah, I don't want him to look too boring, so I kind of just made my own pose. He's holding a little karma flower there, which if you've ever played the game, pretty important item. And he's also got kind of the spiky yellow tail, because if you don't know, this character kind of gets like visual updates as you play through their story. So I kind of made a later version of him that had a bit more interesting details on it. But yeah, those are all the Rain World animals. Alright, next up we've got the Adventure Time characters, because back when I made these I was very into that show. Still think it's a good show, but I haven't seen it in a while. And you can see I continued with the picture wire and for all their kind of twiggy little limbs. And these ones are kind of sitting over the edge, kind of fun. So here's Finn, and you can see he's got the robot arm from later in the show. He's got the backpack. I'm not sure I can really get it at a good angle, but he's got the backpack. And this is kind of the first time too I've made two characters interacting, because you can see he's fist bumping Jake, because that's what they do in the intro. Jake's kind of more basic, just kind of a yellow block with a face. He's got dog ears and a little tail. And I don't know if you can see the tail. And in the middle there's Beemo, who I think is my smallest play character to date, but they've got so much detail with the little buttons on the front, the Beemo on the side, the speakers, all the little things on the back. I love I love this little one because it's so small but so detailed. And over here we've got Ice King, maybe one of my best clay creations, honestly. He's got the big beard, the crown. You can even see he's got kind of a little swirl of hair, because if you've ever seen in the show when he takes the crown off, that's what it looks like. He's holding the Gunther the penguin, who looks kind of over it. And then next to him is Marceline, holding the like axe guitar thing. She's got the little vampire bite on her neck because she's a vampire. This one's kind of sloppy. I think if I did it again now it'd be a lot better, but Ice King's really good. Then lastly, we have Princess Bubblegum here, also mixing like the test tubes, because of course she's kind of got a science theme going in the show. The next here is the Peppermint Butler, another one of my favorites. He's got the nice suit on, and he's of course reading a Dark Magic 101 book, which I'm pretty sure is a prop that actually shows up in the show. I can't quite remember, but kind of got a science and magic theme going on there. But yeah, that's all the Adventure Time ones. Next up, we've got the Smiling Friends from, of course, the show Smiling Friends, which I think I made these like right after season 1 came out, because I was a big fan of the people behind it and everything. So, and these were definitely my most ambitious by a long shot at the time I made them, with their size and amount of detail. So here's Pim, of course. I remember he took a couple tries to get right, but I think he came out pretty good. He's got the little exposed nerve ending, of course. Then there's Charlie, who, this was before I used foil or anything, so he's literally just a giant solid block of clay. Like, there's nothing but clay inside of this. He's extremely heavy and a complete waste of clay, honestly. But yeah, you can see he's got like the few kind of little hairs in the back that you can see occasionally in the show. Then behind him is Alan, who was a massive headache when we made him. The reason there's a wood block under him is because originally, of course, he wouldn't stand up, even with the little platform, the little circular platform. So then I made his body foil, the first time I used foil for a clay guy to make him lighter, but that still didn't help. So then we put like thick electrical wire in his legs, and he still wouldn't stand up. So then lastly, this wood block has 2 holes drilled into it. So he has wires in his legs that go into 2 holes drilled in the wooden block, and now he finally stands properly. So yeah, definitely very difficult to make. Then there's Glep, another tiny little character. Really not much to say about him, just kind of a little green man. So yeah, these are nothing too crazy, but the difference in size between them is a lot. They're some of my smallest and biggest characters in the same kind of little collection. So yeah, that's it for them. Alright, next up we have the characters from the Little Nightmares video games, which I've been a fan of for a very long time, multiple years now. So there's Six, of course, like the main protagonist. She's got her little lighter from the game, got the raincoat on. She's kind of standing on the like metal panels that are very common in the first game. Then behind her, that's supposed to be, there's kind of these little collectibles you can find that are these little dolls you can smash. And that's what that's supposed to be, just kind of one of the little dolls sitting behind her. And these platforms are styrofoam, so they've got wires in their legs stabbing through the platforms here. Then behind Six, there's kind of a gnome you can see kind of curled up. One of the gnomes in a cage. He's got the lantern next to him, another kind of recurring item throughout the game. Then to the right is the boy, the runaway kid from the Secrets of the Maw kind of expansion they made for the first game. So he's got kind of the black hair going over his face, and then if you've ever played the expansion chapters, you can find these little collectible bottles, like messages in bottles. So that's kind of him opening one up, pulling out the paper inside. You can even see he's got the little kind of shackle on his leg. Then the only character I've got from Little Nightmares 2 is Mono here, the protagonist. And you can see these two are kind of on wood floor instead of the metal. And he has got the coat on, kind of like going up in the wind behind him as he runs. And you can of course see, if you've ever played the game, he travels through the television. So he's kind of smashing out of this television screen. So kind of the first character I made, kind of like, you know, I kind of really posed these characters doing stuff and added some props, but this one's really cool. But that's not all, because Six and Mono have some extra little heads. You can see Six, you can pop her head off, it's on a little toothpick, and Mono's paper bag is on this little metal rod. Let's see if I can get it back now. Oh Lord. There we go. Okay, but yeah, and they've got some alternate heads. Six has this one, of course, with kind of the fox mask. And then she's also got this one, my personal favorite, kind of angry, I think it's Tengu mask is what it's called. And then another really cool one, the Scarecrow, kind of like sack with the stitching on. I even kind of pressed it against, I don't know if that'll show up on the video, I kind of pressed it against a bag to give it kind of like a weird like texture to it. And then of course the upside down teapot stuck on her head with a little crack in it. That was kind of funny. And all those, I know if you have like the enhanced edition of the first game, you can unlock them. I think on other versions you might have to pay extra to buy them, but they are customizations from the game. And then if you ever played the second game, you know you can find hats through multiple hidden places. So for mono here, I've got the little wooden kind of Pinocchio head. And I think this one you can only get if you pre-ordered the game. So I don't know if new players can get this anymore. Then from the school, we've got the little kind of like ball head. And you can find that before you enter the school, kind of in the background in the playground. Then also from the school, I think in the library level, if you move a ladder, you can get it. It's kind of this rusted can. You see the top's kind of cracked open. And then lastly, from the hospital, I think you find it in the room with all the toys, is the little stuffed teddy bear head. So yeah, all these you can kind of pop off their heads and customize them any which way you want, which I thought that's kind of my cool original idea for these guys. So yeah. Alright, next up, kind of a smaller collection. Really just kind of a pair from Spelunky, a video game I quite enjoy. There is the Spelunky, the main character. I think his name is literally Guy Spelunky. And he's really not too advanced, you know, mostly just clay. I don't even really use wire for him. The torch has foil inside of it to make it lighter. That's the reason he can hold up the huge torch without it falling over. And both of their heads are foil balls to make them lighter, so their big cartoony heads don't make them fall over. Then of course here's the golden idol, which if you've ever played Spelunky, you know, a very recognizable item that you can kind of bring to the exit for some extra cash. But yeah, this pose he's doing, kind of just on the title screen, he'll stand there just like that. And then I also made Demi Von Diamonds, I think is her name, but in the second game you can actually play as this character. In the first game you can just kind of find them in the caves and bring them to the end of the level for extra health. So yeah, I can see she's kind of got the hair, kind of the worried look. She kind of got her arm around his shoulder, kind of following him, and she's got the high heels on. The only way she's able to stand up is because she's leaning against him. There's no way she would stand on her own because the hair makes her head so heavy and her feet are kind of so unstable. But yeah, that's those two. That's kind of it. Not really much to say about them. And very last, but certainly far from least, is Maxwell William Carter from Don't Starve. And Don't Starve is a game I've played a ton of. And this one kind of has a story behind it, because there was one time long ago a friend and I tried to make a clay Maxwell, but he was standing up, and because he's got such kind of a thin, gangly body, he collapsed and got completely decimated. So this is kind of a redo to avenge the old Maxwell, who is now in shambles. Oh, excuse the voice crack. But yeah, you can see he's holding a little cigar, like he does very often in the game. Of course, sitting on the Nightmare Throne, because in the first game, that's kind of what he does. He's the villain. He's got the flower on his suit. Other than that, I don't think there's much to say. His arms and legs are armature wire. His head is foil. Just like the Spelunky character, so his big head is too much weight. But the whole chair is just clay. His torso is just clay. And yeah, so really not too much crazy stuff going on with this guy. And he's not even really part of a group. He's kind of just a solo statue. And that concludes my tour through my collection. You've seen everything I've got that hasn't appeared in one of my animated videos, which, if you've seen this and haven't seen those, I would recommend you check them out, because they're a lot higher effort and more interesting than this was. This was kind of just one take of me rambling about stuff. But If you have any questions because you're as big a nerd about this stuff as I am, then just ask in the comments and I'll answer it. And I'd recommend all the games and shows that I ripped these characters from. But I think that's basically it. So yeah, thanks for watching if you stuck around this long.